Stage 3 in this 2010 Tour de France was always going to be tricky. After Van der Velde and Terpstra retired, the 191 riders left hit the road from Wannsee in Belgium on a 213km long journey to Arenberg in France. A familiar race for many of the contestants who will have recognised the Paris-Roubaix track and its 7 cobblestone sections stretching over 13.2 kilometres. It's a well-known fact that the Tour isn't won on cobblestones, but sure enough it can be lost there, and so the favourites decided against taking any unnecessary risks. The numerous falls in the previous stages had made the peloton wary at the start of stage 4, but Lance Armstrong warned beforehand he would be looking to gain time on his main rivals. And the first attack of the day occurs after only 8 kilometres, with a group of 7 men breaking away. Garmin's Ryder Hesjedal, Spain's Imanol Erviti from Caisse d'Epargne, Sky Team's Steve Cummings, Russia's Pavel Brut from Team Katusha, Germany's Roger Klug from Milram, and 2 Frenchmen, B-Box's Pierre Roland and Stéphane Auger from Cofidis. Together these riders would increase their lead on the peloton to up to 3.5 minutes, while behind, Quick-Step are in control of the pack, protecting their yellow jersey worn by Sylvain Chavanel. After 96 kilometres, the first tumble of the day takes place on a regular portion of the road, as several contestants riding on the pavement were caught unaware, forcing AG2R's David Lelay to retire from the race. As the first cobbles section draws nearer, the Radio Shacks take control at the front of the peloton. With the hardest parts in the last 40 kilometres, Lance Armstrong's teammates remain vigilant, whilst the breakaway retain its 2.5 minute lead on the peloton. With the last Belgian cobbles up ahead, the pace increases in the peloton, with the Saxo Bank starting to make a move. Andy Schleck's teammates can count on a cobbles specialist within their team with Swiss Supremo Fabian Cancellara. With a numerous crowd along the Holland-Rongy area and with heavy dust along the road, the race turns into a battle against the elements, and Damiano Cunego takes a bad fall. Not a fatal one nevertheless, and the 190 riders left safely cross the border as the Tour enters France. 30 kilometres from the finish line, Team Cervelo make a stand and move up a gear, distorting the peloton in seconds. As the riders arrive on the French cobbles, Frank Schleck and Tony Martin take a tumble, the Luxembourg champion being forced to retire, while his brother Andy, alongside Cancellara, manages to break free from the peloton, quickly joined by Cadel Evans. The initial breakaway is scattered and one man remains in the lead, 30 seconds ahead of the Schleck group, Ryder Hesjedal. The final section will prove to be fatal for Hesjedal, however, and 6 men lead the way to the finish line. Just behind, Alberto Contador remains in sight, but the stage win will be decided in the sprint between Hushoft and Thomas. And in the end, the Norwegian champion from Team Cervelo claimed a 9th stage win on the Tour ahead of Thomas and Evans. Cadel Evans and Andy Schleck move into the top 6 in the overall standings. Despite a punctured tyre towards the end of the race, Alberto Contador finishes a little over a minute behind Hushoft. And finally, thanks to a strong finish, Fabian Cancellara reclaims his yellow jersey from Sylvain Chavanel, who nevertheless remains 5th in the overall standings.